What's up guys, it's Saltman here for Ignorant.com, where we're counting down the top 11 worst characters in Mortal Kombat history. Oh yeah! Number 11, Kai. Some characters in MK4 were wholly original, like Quan Chi, who is not just a total ripoff of Shang Tsung. What are you talking about? Whereas characters like Kai, that guy, man, he was such a ripoff of Liu Kang and Kung Lao. I mean, he was being trained by Liu Kang, but does that mean he has to have anything in common with the guy? Really? Come on now. Why would an apprentice be in any way similar to their mentor? And look at how this was handled in MKX, where Jackie Briggs was totally different from her father, man. She's totally different. She has gauntlets, not metal arms. Come on, guys, get with it. Number 10, Moloch. He looks like a monster plucked from some dark fantasy story. He's so plain and unoriginal and does very little in the way of interesting story. And then you compare that to Motaro, who is a centaur. I mean, come on guys, you did it right once. Can you not do that again? Number 9, Meat. You guys are definitely going to take my opinions on Mortal Kombat very seriously when you see me taking this joke character very seriously. Sure, he's a joke character, but why wouldn't I take that seriously? I mean, come on now. Clearly this guy was just very poorly designed. You can't use the excuse that he's a joke character. Even joke characters are supposed to be taken completely 100% seriously. Come on now. Number 8, Borai Cho. Yeah, that's how original this list is. How can anyone take a character who pukes on people seriously? Any character in Mortal Kombat who fucking pukes on people should be on this list. Fortunately, NetherRealm Studios never added a character like that. Thank God for that, or else that character would have to be on this fucking list. I mean, this guy trained Liu Kang and Kung Lao, and yet he doesn't fight anything like those two characters. How can a master and student not have anything in common? Oh my god, guys. He should have fought exactly like Liu Kang. Then I wouldn't have had to put him on this list. Number 7, Taven. There's nothing particularly bad about him, he's just painfully boring, and that's why I'm ranking him worse than characters I explicitly hate. Number 5 and 6, Chameleon and Chameleon. I really have nothing to say about these characters, so I decided to write up an entire paragraph about their characters' history that really adds nothing to this list. Now, these characters never did gain their own identity and playstyle, unlike Jackie Briggs, who absolutely did do that, and Shang Tsung stealing their gimmick for MK11. Beautiful, man. It's so good. Unlike these two. Haha. Number 2, Mocap. The developers at Midway decided to create a character that was a tribute to Carlos Pesina, who did the motion capture for the 3D era Mortal Kombat games, and was also the original actor who played Raiden. So he fucking sucks, man! Fuck him! I don't like this guy. He has balls on his body. Fucking balls! Number 3, Cobra. This guy is just basically a ripoff of a Street Fighter character. Now some of you may say, but Saltman, what about Kotal Khan? He's just a complete ripoff of Ogre from Tekken. And that's the key difference here. Ripping off a character from Tekken? Totally fine. Ripping off a character from Street Fighter? That's a problem. Those are two completely different things. And that's why the guy from the 3D era of Mortal Kombat makes this list, but the guy from the NetherRealm era does not. You fucking dumb piece of shit. Cobra just does not fit with the rest of the Mortal Kombat cast. Cobra's just some martial artist who feels like he's totally out of his league. Now some of you may say, well, what about Stryker? He's a guy who has to use a gun to keep up with the other characters. Well, let me explain to you, dumbasses. Stryker has an everyman appeal. Cobra does not. What is his everyman appeal? I'm not going to explain that. I don't have to explain that. Come on now. I'm saying that a classic character is a better character than a 3D era character, so you know I'm right, and I don't need to explain it to any of y'all. Number 2, Jarek. Jarek is just a poor man's Kano. He has nothing original about his character. I don't care that Armageddon decided that that would be the entire point of his character, as a parody of the character he had once been. He has nothing unique to make him different from Kano, and therefore, he is fucking bad. They should have gone the direction they did with Jackie Briggs, where she is completely distinct from her father. This is just pathetic. Number 1, Su Howe. Yes, what an original list we have. Su Howe is the number 1 worst Mortal Kombat character. This was a list that absolutely had to be made. Haha. Su Howe is designed as the anti-Jax. He's a Mongolian warlord? What the fuck? Su Howe's not a warlord, you fucking... Since when was Su Howe a warlord? You've been playing too much Ghost of Tsushima, mate. Su Howe is one of the most universally disliked Mortal Kombat characters of all time, and that's why I'm going along with what everyone else says and putting him at the bottom of this list. Oh my god, guys, how could I go against the grain? How could I have an original thought that isn't exactly what so many Mortal Kombat fans think? How could I? See, even the developers at NetherRealm dislike him, most of whom didn't even work on the games he was actually a character in, and therefore, he's bad. Even John Vogel said that Su Howe was being brought back to Armageddon, much to his dismay. It couldn't have possibly been a joke, he was absolutely being 100% serious when he said that. Howe's moveset was totally uninspired. Unlike Jackie Briggs, his backstory is boring. Unlike Jackie Briggs, he simply did not have the look of a Mortal Kombat character. Now, a fucking cowboy, and a weird Sandman automaton, and whatever the hell Kronika's supposed to be, and a giant bug lady. Yeah, man, that's totally Mortal Kombat. But this guy who has design similarities so similar to Kano that they fucking ripped them off for Kano in later games, man, he does not fit in Mortal Kombat whatsoever. And that is our list. What do you guys think? I don't care what you think. All that matters is what the larger Mortal Kombat fanbase thinks. And what I mean by that is the people who specifically like the 2D and NetherRealm eras of Mortal Kombat and not the 3D one. Fuck the 3D era of Mortal Kombat. I have been conditioned to hate it, and therefore I shall. For I have no unique opinions of my own. Be sure to subscribe and check out ignorant.com for more lists, and remember, you can't spell ignorant without IGN. For real though, if your list of the worst Mortal Kombat characters doesn't include Kronika, you're either a NetherRealm shill or a fucking clown.